Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Ace Attorney. Oh, God. God, hold on, let me think. It's been, I want to say, over... It's been like over 3 years since we started Ace Attorney, right? Or was it 2? Hold on, let me just double check, because this is important. Because Ace Attorney is, I want to say, the longest currently running series on the channel. I'm not sure how it stacks up with Persona in terms of actual like video length, but just strictly speaking, from when it started to the current day, right? Let me see. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. First episode, yeah, over 3 years ago. What was the date?
And welcome
to May 25th. So yeah, it's like a year and like a month since and a little bit as well since we started Ace Attorney. I mean, Ace Attorney is such an old series on the channel that we started playing Ace Attorney before we started streaming on the channel, which is kind of wild to say considering that nowadays basically all we do is streaming. But when we first started Ace Attorney was a pre-recorded series. It wasn't streamed. We didn't start, streaming. Like, the first time we started streaming was Persona 5, which came out a couple of months later. And then I think we only swapped Ace Attorney to the streaming format somewhere during the start of Justice for All, I think. Is sometime during the second case of that game. I think it was when we did the swap. So yeah, this has been a long fucking journey. We've played the original trilogy. Hey Firewall, how's it going? Point at Edgeworth wearing a butterfly costume. Is this Ace Attorney? Yeah, obviously we played the Phoenix Wright trilogy, which was very good. We played the first Apollo Justice game, which I absolutely loved. It's probably my favorite game in the series. Yeah, and I mean, it got recently announced that they're gonna be remastering Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, and whatever the third one is called, and it's gonna be coming to PC. So, on one hand, that's great. Because it means that when we do get around to playing Dual Destinies and the like, it's gonna have like upscaled graphics like the original trilogy did. I'm not gonna have to have a weird fucking Nintendo DS setup like I have for this game and like I had for Apollo Justice, which I do think doesn't look great. But on the other side, I kind of wished I had waited to play Apollo Justice until after it had come out on PC, because that would have made things... It would have certainly made the series a lot better, because I mean, if since you were here during Apollo Justice, you remember the setup that we had. The setup is worse now, because this is yeah, I've been good. How about you? Now, hold on, let me swap over to the live. Yeah, here we go. Obviously I've swapped out, oh, that does not, okay, that chat is freaking out. Hold on. Alright. That should do it. There we go. Yeah, so for Apollo Justice, that was... We played that on a 3DS emulator. This, we're playing on a DS emulator, because this never got released for the 3DS. So, the resolution is even worse. So yeah, this is not gonna look great. There's nothing really I can do about that. We can try to, like, the emulator I have does have a few options for different, like, what would you call it? Magnification filters to try to make things look a little bit better. Like, if you look at the menu right now, and then I apply the, yeah, if I apply this, or that one didn't look, that one didn't do much, this one. Yeah, like, that kind of smooths things out a little bit, but it also makes things look really blurry. So I guess we'll have to see and figure out which settings is going to work the best for us. Funny you say that, because people prefer the pixelated art of the DS games rather than the smooth art of the trilogy. I mean, I really like the smooth art of the trilogy, but that might just be because I played the games for the first time with the smooth art rather than with the pixelated art. So it might just be like a, you know, bias sort of thing. But at the same time, I do like the pixel art. My problem isn't with the pixel art. The pixel art is great. My problem is having to scale up the pixel art. Because pixel art in its native resolution, how it's supposed to be viewed, it works great. But pixel art, when you're upscaling it to fit a fucking, you know, 1080p stream, I can't, what, there we go, looks terrible. But yeah, let's just, let me turn off the music and the sweet scent of dark coffee, and yeah, let's get right into it. This is gonna be fun. I think my Edgeworth voice and my Gumshoe voice should be fine. Turnabout Visitor, but we'll see if there's any other new recurring characters. We might have to go back and check some of my older voices, see how they're doing. Yeah. Let's just get started. Turnabout Visitor. March 14th, 1:16 a.m. Well, actually, this is a good point. When does this game take place in real? Oh, to make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. Hey, that was the samurai. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? That's not Edgeworth. Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Yeah, okay, that is Edgeworth's office. What the hell's going on here? Who the fuck are you? I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. My dude, you need to prosecute your barber. What is that haircut? What is that yee-ass haircut? Prosecute him! Get him, like, found guilty and locked up for life so that he can't hurt anyone else's hairline. My God! You don't like playing your game on what's essentially a 300 by 400 image? The investigation games, like no other Ace Attorney game, play like no other Ace Attorney games is one of my favorite parts of these things. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that there's no trials, but that it's just investigations, as the name would suggest. But it's but they do add more stuff to the investigations to make it meatier. I mean, it is kind of sad because we're playing as Edgeworth, and I would love it. I mean, I love playing as Edgeworth, but I mean, I would love a game where we actually get to, like, be a prosecutor in court. But with the fucked up legal system of the Ace Attorney universe, like, all we would need to do to get someone found guilty is just tell the judge that he did it, make up some random profound statement like Gatto does, sip on some coffee, and the judge just rules guilty right on the spot. So that wouldn't be much of a game. You can actually walk, you don't just teleport anymore? Ooh, cool. Oh, I'm excited to figure it out. believe this game takes place in the break Edgeworth took between the first and second game. Oh. Oh. That's got some interesting implications. Particularly for his character. But especially if we, didn't Edgeworth spend his break overseas? I think he did. Or am I confusing him with Emma, who went to study in Europe? I'm not actually entirely sure there. March 14, 2:05 a.m., Prosecutor's Building, 14th floor hallway. Okay, so real quick, before we actually properly get started, I want to check out some of these magnification filters to see if they actually look decent. Because first, I need to see if they look decent on text, and then I need to see if they look decent on actual sprites. So, let's try this. Which the text, okay. Look, as long as the text looks fine, it's a decent filter. See, that one starts to make the text bleed together a little bit. So that one might be, that one seems like a good candidate. What about you? You look basically the same. Nearest neighbor. Neighbor looks the same. That one's a bit more fuzzy. I'm not sure if I like that. What is EPX? Oh no, that is horrible. That is horrible. And that one looks all right. Okay. Let's see once we got a sprite in here how this looks like. Emma studied overseas, from what I remember. Edgeworth only needed some time to reflect on everything. Okay. I just got them mixed up then. Oh, there he is. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. Oh, that would explain why he... Wait, but didn't he show up in, at the end of Turnabout Big Top? Didn't he show up in, like, an airplane? At the end of Turnabout Big Top? I think that's what happened. How do you look? You didn't actually change anything. What about you? That looks basically the same to me. What about you? Alright, the little tail on his hair does not look nice there. What about you? Basically just looks the same as it does. See, the problem with any magnification filters that try to get rid of the, like this one, right? This one can mostly get rid of the pixelation, but it just makes it look like I'm looking through a thick layer of fog, you know? And this one just physically slows down my game. Oh my god. I think we're just gonna go with, that one, which I think looks pretty faithful to what I assume the graphics are supposed to be. I also think the Investigations have the best looking art in the series. Yeah, too bad it's like 360p. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? Huh? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood! What the? It's nice actually having physical sprites moving along in the environment. That is a very nice touch. What's the meaning of this? Freeze! The fuck? Do you know who I am? Identify. Who the fuck are you? Identify yourself! Identify yourself. Shut up. Huh. You've got some nerve. Committing murder in a prosecutor's office. That was unnecessary! That was my call! Dude, I've lived half my life watching YouTube at 360p because my internet was garbage. I'm used to it. Well, again, the problem isn't 360p, it's just that it's... the upscaling doesn't look good. Is that a threat? Yes. Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Oh. Is that a fucking ghost? Is that a ghost? Oh god. See, the thing is, with any other series, that would be a joke. With Ace Attorney, I literally can't put it past them. Because ghosts are a central part of Ace Attorney lore. But yeah, if I had... Didn't the murder in Rise from the Ashes also take place in the prosecutor's office? Right? Not like the one we actually investigated in Rise from the Ashes, because that was when that one was in the precinct. But the original case that sparked everything, SL6, I think. Didn't that also take place in a prosecutor's office? My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in the local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad... Yes, okay, he did go abroad. I would be thrust into a multitude of cases. Some very frantic and busy days. March 14, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Okay, I thought we were gonna, like, get framed for the murder, and I was gonna end up cutting some poor police officer's salary who arrested me, but no. Okay. I was wrong. The game apparently takes place after or during Trials and Tribulations. Okay, so Edgeworth is not, like, you know, grappling with his identity as a prosecutor due to, like, you know, using false evidence to sentence a man to death. That's good. But yeah, let's see. We've got... Yeah, the Steel Samurai figure. He's got the King of Prosecutors award. Cool. So yeah, okay. So it is good to know that this is respecting the Rise from the Ashes continuity. And yeah. Ooh, organizer. It's not like the court record, but there's no court, so it's not called the court record. Prosecutor's badge. Other. One of my positions. Proof of my profession. However, I prefer to keep it in my pocket. Interesting. Question mark, question mark, question mark. The victim in this case, why was he killed in my office? It's a very good question. I've finished... Oh. I've finished photographing the victim's body, sir! Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir! It's nice that now we can, like, the police can't get in our way now. I am the police! Happened to the prosecution room remains in the prosecution room. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. He's ready to beat someone up. Yeah, well, when I heard a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Deke Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. We make a great team. Yeah, you look a little pale, sir. Yeah, you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... you know what? There is one downside to playing as Edgeworth, something that I hadn't considered. That's the fact that, since we're playing as Edgeworth, Gumshoe doesn't call us pal, he calls us sir. This is such a tragic loss. I can't do Gumshoe's voice and not add pal at the end of every sentence. It's not allowed. Game changes the gameplay a lot. It's a bit more complicated than just Text and present the right evidence. Ooh, cool. Yeah, hopefully this game will put a bit more emphasis on doing, since it's called investigations, hopefully this game will put a bit more emphasis on actually like deducing what happened, because like with the previous games there were certain points where you had to think and like with these previous games you could really, I feel like, take cases one bit at a time, where you could just follow the narrative the game presents and then just make the right choice at the right moment. You don't actually have to reconstruct the whole case, right? Like you don't have to like reconstruct everything that's happened to be able to progress the, you know, the very first few what are the cross-examinations, right? Like you, as you just go through the game solving the smaller puzzles, you learn more and more of the case, right? So I'm hoping this is more like the Sherlock Holmes games, which are fucking excellent, and probably the best detective games there are. No, I'm perfectly fine. However, yeah, look at what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Hey, whoa, sounds like you're really getting burned up over this whole thing. And this crime was committed in my office, so it's my responsibility to solve it. Oh, it's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, okay, I'm time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. You collect the clues, then you connect those clues to create a piece of evidence. Okay, yeah, that is kind of similar to how the, to how the Sherlock Holmes games work. I really, there's a couple of new of those games. The first two I've already played, but there's a few new ones, I think. I should get around to playing those on the channel at some point, because the first two Sherlock Holmes games, Crime and Punishment and The Devil's Daughter, were both fucking excellent. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched into the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Yes, that's what I was wondering. We throw this Coke in the freezer so that it's extra cold. Because the two reasons I could think of is that it was a crime of opportunity, and that, you know, two people just so happened to have a confrontation in my office. You know, perhaps one was trying to rob the office, and then this guy breaks in, and he sees that there's another guy trying to rob, and they shoot each other, right? It could just be a coincidence, which also gives us information, meaning that, you know, there must have been some other reason for them to come to the office. Or it could have been that they were trying to frame me for the murder. That's also a possibility. But either way, the office is going to be... It's either because they're trying to frame us, or they have some other motive to come to the office. Is it really a coincidence that the murder took place in my office? Ooh, logic. I get the nagging feeling this is something important to keep in mind. How do I go there? Dick Gumshoe, homicide detective at the local precinct, in charge of the initial investigation. I like that, Edgeworth's description of Gumshoe is identical to Wright's. Very good, very good. Say, for example, you investigate a crime scene with a broken window and a bat near it. Connect the broken glass to the bat, deduce more evidence for their story. Of course, it's not going to be that simple if you get there. Cool. Yeah, I was wondering about that myself, sir. Yeah, I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can ya? God, I'm so excited for Gumshoe to be the Maya of this game. Oh god, that's gonna be so good. No, not really. Especially because of this. Yeah, key to your office. The other reasons this office door has a lock built into it. And what do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Yeah, logic. Yeah, I don't think Gumshoe has ever heard that word before. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. And so, how to use it? Also, I like that the implication here is that Wright has never in his life used logic, because he's never had access to the mechanic. He just presents evidence as it, like, Wright's trial strategy, it's like, source, it is known. It was once revealed to me in a dream. First, I recall information through the logic button, and then connect them together. Proof is left as an exercise to the reader. Now, to touch the logic button, recall the facts. Crime scene. My office. Further evidence in the murder took place in my office. Office key. For security reasons, this office door has a lock on it. Connect the thoughts. How do I do that? Okay, so double click. Okay. Connect. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. So what's the bar at the top? Because like with Phoenix, it was like a mix of like in the trial, it was like his credibility with the judge. With you know, when he was out doing psyche locks, it was like his mental energy to like perform this like psychic analysis. What's the bar now? Is it like Edgeworth's self-perception? If you get things too wrong, he's like, well, I have come to the conclusion that I am retarded. Henceforth, I am dropping the case and quitting as a prosecutor. No, Mr. Edgeworth, you can't do that. Who's Wright gonna have sex with if you leave the country, sir? I don't care. I suppose he'll have to hitch up with Gatto. He's hotter than me anyways. It's the only way, Gumshoe, to reclaim my honor. The blow to Edgy's ego. Yeah, basically. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as a mere coincidence. Yeah, I'd say exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated this room. What was the killer after? Yeah, you're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before placing leads together, the logic should flow. At some point you end up having like 8 or 9 pieces of logic you have to connect. That's good. Yeah, okay. Now let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. In investigation, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. The basics of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. When I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button. Now, if you ever feel lost and you want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay? Yeah, I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I'm having free time, I suppose. Okay, so let's familiarize ourselves here. So the logic tab, we can store pieces of logic here and then connect them. This happened in my office. What's the killer after? Cool. Organizer tab is where we keep track of profiles and evidence, right? This lets us. Okay, we can use actual button inputs. We don't have to use the touch screen. Touch screen. Don't sue me, Nintendo, please. We can just use the arrow keys to move around. That's good. So is the partner button just like an extra bit of dialogue, or is it meant like as a hint in case you're like getting stuck? Witness testimonies are still a thing in this game, so you don't lose the aspect of the OG series either. Okay, cool. What do you have to say for yourself? I'm gonna cut your fucking salary, boy. Oh. That's, no. What's the... Hold on. This is a new emulator that I'm using, because my old emulator didn't handle DS games, so I just need to check the key mapping real quick. Hold on. Tools. Two layers, console, scripting. Config. Firmware. There we go, controls. Okay. The arrow keys map to the so it looks like the arrow keys map to the D-pad. That makes sense. Then B, A, Y, and Z are Z, X, A, and S. Okay. Start is enter, select is R shift, and then the bumpers are Q and W. Okay. In that case, I need to move the microphone a little bit so that I can actually access the buttons that I need. And then obviously the touch screen is just with my mouse. So what do you think so far about the interface? It's interesting, it is. Oh, and we can actually see what rooms are connected and stuff. That's cool. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out. What's the button? Is it A? No, that's the partner button. Hey, you called, sir? S? It's X. Okay, X is like my select button. Is there anything you noticed that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, just that I rushed over here as soon as I heard that there was a murder in your office, sir. Yeah, investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. So, yeah, were you the one that found the body, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately. Upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked. And what awaited me inside was this whole messy affair. Hold on, let me just double check. Audio is looking good, because that was, the reason this stream got delayed a couple of days is I was having some audio issues, but everything looks fine now, hopefully. Also, let me know if the touchpad screen is too small. Because obviously on like an actual DS, the top and bottom screens are the same size. But I like making the bottom screen a bit smaller to give the top screen some more space. But yeah, let me know if the bottom screen is too small. Because this time we were actually doing stuff on the bottom screen. What awaited me inside was this whole messy affair. Ouch, it's rough. Even though I left the security of this room to a certain detective. Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. I work like half an hour away from here. I can't be here every day. I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, of course, sir. Yeah, examine things by tapping them or touching the examine button. Yeah, by checking various things out, we gather evidence and information. Yeah, as you can see the evidence we collected by touching the organizer button. Yeah, for information. Yeah. For information and leads, it's the logic button. That's it. Great job, sir. Detective reasonable is the way to go. That's called deductive reasoning, Detective. Clearly something you lack. Pointing! And we can present things to Edgeworth. Okay, so this is... Because in the previous game... Oh, okay, I see. We can't present profiles in this game, though. Interestingly. Hey, prosecutor's badge is really tiny compared to my police badge. Oh, but it's really cool, sir. Yeah, how much more than my badge would ever be? There's no need to suck up to me, Detective. Oh, but I want my salary back. Ooh. Oh, that's save states, I guess. I accidentally clicked the number buttons. Blood on screen is not much more important. Not that much more important than in previous games, so I think size is all right for now. Okay, okay, that's good. Okay, let's get to it then. What do you have to say? Do you have anything to report?
Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet there's something out of the ordinary in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction.
Something out of the ordinary. I should look around a bit more. Okay, so you're useless. I'm cutting your salary. What about you? Will you be having your salary cut? How's it coming along? God damn it, I keep pressing the wrong button. Yeah.
Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art.
Well, I never. Okay, so we've got some scientific analysis. Making Emma proud, I see. Also, with a whole game about investigating, I feel like not having Emma here is a bit of a missed opportunity, you know? Like, that's kind of her whole thing. Attention Gumshoe, it's 3 AM. Time for your monthly salary cuts. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. What have we here? This perhaps be the murder weapon. If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. It was issued to the execs. I was issued the exact same model. Yeah, I think. Detective. Yeah, I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. Yeah, but now that I think about it, you see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergency, so that's why I didn't recognize it. It's the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct's detectives. Okay, so then that makes sense, right? Because that guy was talking about how the murderer, I'm assuming, is that guy we saw at the beginning, who's like a prosecutor, supposedly. So that would make sense that he'd take the gun from a police officer. Fun fact: this game is actually meant to be. This game was actually meant to be about Emma, but they ultimately decided to go with Edgeworth. No, I don't know if I like that or not. You can't make me choose between my two favorite characters. God damn it! Why couldn't they just have both? Like you can do both. We can have both. Yeah, even knocked over your chess set. And it all set up ready for when you got back. Yeah, I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. I mean, hey, even playing chess against people that are weaker than you is still fun. It's, like, there's a lot of really fun tactics in chess that are simply not viable against higher levels, right? Like, the Onglan Gambit is possibly one of my... is, like, such a fucking fun opening to play. But if you play it against anyone that's, like, over 150 or 1,500, you're gonna get your ass handed to you, so... I finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Why is it that every time I start streaming, I instantly become hungry? This is not fair.
Yeah, files are all over the floor, sir. It probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer.
Eh? Well, I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just went all the time and effort I put in pointless.
I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room.
Yeah, well, I water the flowers every day, sir, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. Yeah, for about half a day every Saturday, I come in and clean the place until it's sparkling. God damn, Gumshoe is the friend we all need.
Does he have a life?
If you were to make a spin-off that not many people are gonna play, might as well have one of the most popular characters be the protag.
I mean, yeah, I understand it, but I feel like you could really do, like you could have both characters be in the game, you know?
I'm just saying something incredibly stupid followed by Edgeworth's backhanded compliment are some of the best interactions in this game.
Alright. That's the mess. What do we have here?
Yeah, I think I've seen one of these before.
It's a police badge, detective.
Oh, hey, I had this exact same, the exact same thing actually. What a coincidence! What a coinkydink.
Let's take a look inside.
So this guy was a detective, I see. Okay, so I'm starting to piece things together. So a prosecutor is shouting about finding people guilty and then murders a detective. Possibly a prosecutor that is trying to maybe get a guilty verdict despite there being evidence. He either trying to fabricate evidence or suppress evidence that proves someone's innocence, and so then a police officer tries to stop him and he kills him with his own gun. That seems like the most likely theory so far.
Gumshoe can't afford to have a life anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
Funny faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. According to his badge and ID, Buddy Faith was a precinct detective. Cool. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now, to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other.
No. First, we're getting every clue we can.
Let's see here. There's blood all over the lower abdominal area.
Yeah, it looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir.
In other words, he was shot.
Yeah, until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that.
Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene.
Okay. And you gonna be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir?
Of course. That's the safest way I know to keep track of it all.
Yeah, alright, if you say so.
I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. But the organizer isn't the only evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often.
Probably.
Eh?
I don't believe it. I packed those files on the shelf so tight. I'm gonna keep doing that.
There's blood on his hand and blood around his crotch. We all know what actually happened here.
Not even an earthquake could make them all fall off, but just look at them. That's right, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all.
Problem to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf.
That's funny, because,
the Japanese version of this game, right, the original version takes place in Japan, and I'm pretty sure Japan does get earthquakes, but the American version of this game, or just the general Western version, takes place in California, which doesn't get earthquakes. So, you know.
Oh, what was there? It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tidy that it looks newer than when I first bought it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thing's so polished that it makes mirrors jealous.
Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, Detective.
Yeah, my job is to protect your office, sir.
And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it.
Yeah, it's harsh, sir.
I have to admit, the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay.
I think Edgeworth is softening up a bit. God damn. Yeah, watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir.
Nah, the killer is going to pay. This tea set.
Yeah, sure, you're really mad over this. Oh my god. Gumshoe is so terrified he's merging into the table.
This tea set is very dear to my heart. It can only be bought in England. It costs more than your whole month's paycheck.
What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. Sure, yeah, just get mad about that.
If I left... I can't blame him though. If I was left alone in Edgeworth office, they'll find me in the same pose.
Oh, it's your trophy. The Knight of Prosecutors, right?
King of prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield.
And only sent this to the winning prosecutor, right?
Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself.
Yeah, so slick, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime.
Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Well, it's a good thing my steel samurai doll was spared any harm. Speaking of which, I still haven't sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again? Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like The Pink Princess, Warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and The Nickel Samurai, along with the deluge of merchandise and even a new stage show, give it presence.
You sure know a lot. You sure you are not some sort of rabbit fanboy?
Of course not! Anyone that keeps up with the society knows at least this much. And the conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation.
You can lie all you want, Edgeworth. We know you've watched the show back-to-back 3 times and then gone to YouTube to watch reaction videos.
Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers?
And wants to come with a card attached every month like clockwork for you? Yeah. And speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month, sir.
All will be resolved. Wendy. Oh, Miss Irony, how painful are thy thorns.
Yeah, Wendy. Yeah, the name of that old lady with the whiny voice that stalked.
That's enough, Detective. You need not remind me further.
Oh god, I wonder if we'll get to see Old Bag in this. That would be incredible.
I hope I can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa.
Yeah, I think it looks like a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a while, sir.
Detective Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest.
You're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard and be a real trooper to the end.
Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to have any time off.
No, I'm pretty sure he's working 16 hours a day just to make ends meet.
Love how Edgeworth's only thought when he talks about Gumshoe always circled back to
The fact that he's poor. Not only that, but the fact that Edgeworth is making him poorer.
Okay, I think we've looked at everything we can. Pop out our organizer. Okay, bullet went through the victim's abdomen. The body was found around 2:05 a.m. Can't wait until that autopsy report gets updated. God damn. Buddy Faith, age 29, gender male, the detective in his precinct, and the victim. Why was he killed in my office? Interesting. Alright, I guess all we have left is logic.
Hello, Ses Isurasu? Did I read that right? I don't think I've seen you around here before. Is this your first time catching one of our streams?
Let's see. Killer's goal. Why did this happen to my office? What was the killer after? Files are a mess, putting to a struggle between the victim and the killer. Revolver. Victim was a detective. Yeah, that with the revolver. Because I'm guessing that was his gun.
Got it right? Oh, thank you. How did you come across the channel?
The revolver. A standard model used by detectives. Did it belong to a recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, can't you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time?
Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Yeah, excuse me, pal. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Yeah, this guy's wearing a gun holster.
So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Interesting. Let's see. What else can we find out about this revolver?
Saw that you were live and thought to say hi. Oh, it was just YouTube recommendations then. Like your room, by the way? Oh, thank you.
I mean, it's kind of a mess.
The only thing that's like nice is
the few manga and books I have in the background. Yeah, as I always say, you gotta look real carefully at each piece of evidence. You use the scroll wheels to rotate objects. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the slide bar and the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out and get nitty gritty. Okay, so yes, this was definitely originally meant to be an Emma game then.
Can't believe I traded one of the best characters for another one.
Also, I like the fact that this 3D model looks infinitely higher resolution than anything else in the game. It's incredible. I think it's because, like, emulators can, like, upscale 3D things, but not 2D sprites, obviously. Cleanest college room I've ever seen. What manga do you have? All I have back there is the Dragon Ball Super manga, just a few chapters of it. Nowadays I mostly read manga online, so I don't really have much manga. It's a college room that's fascinating.
Alright, well, let's take a look. Any bullets missing? Yep. It looks like only one round was fired from this.
Wow, so killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling a gun from him. Sounds like guy knew how to handle a gun. Now, Mr. Edgeworth.
We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're gonna find out. We should send the body to
Jim! The fuck? Oh, it's you. Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you?
Are you alright?
Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Akira! Just let me be!
Sorry. Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body.
A body! A body! Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh! Look at him! Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure, I just blood-stained soup, pal. Now, where are my manners?
Aren't you that prosecutor?
Portsman! The only thing you should prosecute is your barber. I'm sorry. It's so bad. Like, I've seen some bad haircuts in this series before, but I think you take the cake.
Batman, look at what they did to Jim. What console are you playing it on?
I'm emulating it, but I'm emulating it as a DS game. Why, yes, I am. I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting.
I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I also am a prosecutor.
Yeah, Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So, you're Miles Edgeworth. Yeah, I guess this is your office, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go jumping on conclusions there, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not! I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them, and only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door.
That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner.
So this is a frame job then, I see.
Looks more like a Game
Boy game? It's ethical emulation.
All emulation is ethical, technically. Because console exclusivity is unethical. Especially when it's old consoles that aren't in production anymore. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Stop! Shut your fucking mouth! Yeah, wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it's you then! You're Jim's killer! And oh wait, pal, you've got it all wrong!
Everyone, calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions?
Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call a truce and work together. Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal?
A pleasure to work with you.
And you guys were conducting your investigation, right? And sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all.
Thank you. I intend to.
I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there!
Sir!
Funny enough, unlike all the Ace Attorney games that originated on the Game Boy in Japan, this one started out in the DS off the bat.
Yeah, and it's basically only on the DS if I remember correctly. My final farewell of my partner Jim.
I should probably give them some space. Okay. You got anything new to say? Have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the... yeah, okay.
Special, but now that he's doing that, we can actually come and look at...
your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor?
Okay, he missed the jacket. That's good. But if there's a... Yeah, okay, so this is the guy that this bullet was the result of the guy that confronted me firing a warning shot. So we need to check to make sure the rifling marks on this bullet and the bullet in the corpse are the same, and therefore were fired from the same gun or from different guns. Where's Nick? Starting a talent agency, apparently. He's currently getting evicted.
Must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round.
Yeah, so the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well. And dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in. And what if they shot through it? It would have been a disaster.
That's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here.
Yeah? Yeah, like what?
I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There's a giant contradiction right here in front of us.
Yeah, really?
Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods, and I'll conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence, or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play.
Oh, right, we don't even need to do the rifling marks, because only one bullet was actually fired from the revolver. Maya's burger addiction.
First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction.
It's obviously the bullet hole.
This is it. The bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things.
Okay. The revolver. Only one shot has been fired. Okay, we've got a new soundbite.
This bullet hole is the contradiction.
And what it means, sir?
It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame.
Yeah, that's right.
However, this gun was only fired once.
Well, only one bullet has been fired from the gun. However, we didn't actually hear the shot go off that killed the victim, right? We don't actually know how much time passed since the victim was killed until I actually arrived on the scene. So it's entirely possible that the killer shot the victim, reloaded the gun, then I showed up, he threatens me with a gun, he shoots the painting, he shoots the frame, and that's the bullet that was spent. So that's not necessarily a contradiction, it just means that it's possible that the killer reloaded the gun, which then implies that some time actually passed between me getting threatened by the killer and the killer actually committing the crime.
Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Other than the victim's gun that I found, would there be another gun in play here?
Possibly.
And by the way, I noticed something, sir.
Yes?
You know, the thing sticking out from behind the frame.
Now that. It's a secret safe.
Yeah, secret safe. Oh, I smell money.
Now spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, talk about dusty.
I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while.
I had no idea there was a safe here, so I kept it clean for you, sir. So, when you put this thing in?
It wasn't something I'd installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one.
Yeah, really? I had no idea.
Only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence.
So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth?
Right now, nothing. We only use them to store important evidence when a trial is in session.
Sit. Yeah, talk about squashing my hopes and dreams.
Okay, evidence safe. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I might as well check inside the safe. Now this is odd.
Yeah, you find something, sir?
Gumshoe must be killed for finding out about the safe. I thought it was because the killer was so pissed off at Edgeworth that he pretended that the frame with Edgeworth's jacket, Miles Edgeworth himself, he walked in on him and he got spooked. Well, no, he missed on purpose. It was a warning shot to like threaten me.
This keypad, don't you find it to be a bit too clean?
Yeah, it's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself.
You there, the forensic scientist.
Yes, sir.
Could you please dust this area for fingerprints?
You got it, sir.
I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down as well.
Yeah, despite the fact that there should be fingerprints there. My fingerprints specifically. So then someone opened the safe and then wiped away their fingerprints, which resulted in the dust going away. Cool.
As I thought. It appears logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have.
In a bit.
There's other things to look at first. What are you doing? How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. This picture's too important to mess up. I'll leave the man to his art.
Sure, you do that, I guess.
What do you have to say? Mr. Portsman, a word if I may.
Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see. It'll be for the both of us. Now then, you want to talk about something?
No, that's alright. I feel like I'm interrupting their conversation.
Gumshoe really is the best hype man you can ask for.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, he's sprinting! I guess you can sprint if I press here.
Ooh, look at him go!
But it looks cooler if he just walks around, I gotta say.
Alright, well, let's take a look at new evidence that we've got. Revolver. Prosecutors wanted their office. Prints were wiped. Jacques Portman. High prosecutor with this prosecutor's office. It's my first time speaking with him. It's a weird wording. What do you have to say?
Hey, you called, sir?
I seem to have picked up a good few leads.
Oh, so you're gonna do something about all the... You're gonna do something with all this information, right?
What are you babbling about?
Yeah, the brainy thing you were talking about just a few minutes ago, sir. Logic, I think? Yeah, you say you can look at all your leads and information by touching the logic button. And you pick the pieces you want to connect by touching them and hitting connect. It's your way of investigating things, right, sir?
Yes, which is why this exercise in explaining my own method to me was unnecessary.
Okay, well, how about I explain my logic to you next?
That is even more unnecessary.
I don't want to know what goes on in his mind. I feel like it'd make me dumber.
Yeah, just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure how I should do with anything with that other than to arrest it.
Is the only talent you have... Oh, wait.
Yeah, victim's gun, huh? Yeah, it's the same model as mine.
A tool used to protect lives, yet one that can also take lives away. Those who take a gun in hand wield great responsibility. I hope you understand that.
I don't really use my gun at all, sir. The only time I use this baby is while fighting a hot duel with a convict to look ultra cool.
You were doing so well until the last bit.
Average American police officer.
I had no idea you had one of those things. Yeah, I mean, I thought I knew everything there is to know about you, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, I feel like I've caught a glimpse of the hidden side of Miles Edgeworth.
There's a great deal you don't know about me. At least I hope so.
Yeah, don't worry, Mr. Edgeworth. I know about the oil, and I know about the nights you spend with Mr. Wright.
Oh, he does know everything. How did you know that?
Well, I mean, you never bother to do your own grocery shopping, so you always send me to do it. And I mean, several gallons of oil doesn't go unnoticed, sir. I was curious, you know. Plus, I mean, all those wine bottles that you keep asking me to buy, and you take them over to Mr. Wright. I mean, you're like a man pieces things together, especially when he's an ace detective like myself.
What goes on in his mind is the same as Edgeworth's mind. He's on his knees, surrounded by 6 dicks.
Okay, all right, logic time.
See, what has happened to my office? What is the killer after? Wiped fingerprints, another handgun.
Yeah, they were possibly after something in the safe.
Another handgun, signs of struggle, files are a mess, pointing to the struggle between the killer and the attacker.
It has to be killer's goal and white fingerprints.
I believe I've figured out what the murderer was after.
And what was it, sir?
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. Culprit trying to open the safe. Was the killer's motive?
Well, no. The person who tried to access the safe could have been the victim. That's also a possibility that we have to consider. Right?
No worries, Mr. Edgeworth. I read your diary and made several copies.
I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other piece of information can tell me about this crime.
Yeah, this is a very similar system to the Sherlock Holmes games by Frogware. Though it's a bit more involved in those games. So, yeah. If you're a fan of this game, Firewall, I very highly recommend the Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment, and then Sherlock Holmes The Devil's Daughter.
Signs of struggle, another hand.
Files were a mess. Right, he was searching through the files. That would explain the signs of struggle, right?
There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh, you mean like it could have been from a killer trying to find something, sir?
Precisely.
Or the victim, right? Keep in mind that it's entirely possible that the person who was, searching through the office was the victim, not the killer.
Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even a library.
Sure. Let's give that a try.
Why do all the good ones always die so young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth.
No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth.
Yeah, I mean, that's at his core of his, reminds me a lot of L.A. Noire.
Yeah.
Though I feel like L.A. Noire has a bit more of a focus on, like,
Reminds me of Danganronpa, but without the school.
I mean, that is basically what Ace Attorney is.
And so, what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth?
First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place.
You got it. Here, let me help. Yeah, so this file goes here. Yeah, this book goes here. You sure know a lot about where things are, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Yeah, because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done.
It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelves are so fresh.
But yes, okay, this definitely then confirms that the killer was the one who did the searching. Because the blood was underneath the files, which means the files were thrown on the floor after the murder happened. So it must have been the killer who rummaged through the office.
I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf.
And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? You know, blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out.
Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now.
Yeah, but you know, I'm no good with blood, sir.
I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Use organizer logic.
Yeah, the bullet hole is all the way down here. But the killer was... Yeah, so if he was standing, he was leaning back against the bookshelf, supposedly when he got shot, right? He was leaning back against the bookshelf, he gets shot, he grabs at his stomach, his hands get covered in blood, he tries to stabilize himself on the bookshelf, that doesn't work, he falls to the ground, putting his palms down on the ground, and then he falls over. But then why is the bullet down there? That would mean that this file was actually up here when the bullet happened, right?
So, this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. Then I guess the
victim was moved because he was in the killer's way.
No, that's wrong. Doesn't this technically count as a disturbing the crime scene? Not if photos have already been taken, right? Like, maintaining a crime scene doesn't mean, like, you literally can't move things, because then, like, the killer could just hide the murder weapon under a tarp, and, like, the police would never find it because they can't move the tarp, because that's disturbing the crime scene, right? Like, yeah, you log where everything is, you take pictures and stuff, but yeah, you still have to move things around.
It appears that the victim was in a sitting position after being shot.
Oh, so that's why I see in the victim's pants his blood on it.
That would be logical. That would be the logical conclusion. The killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf.
Yeah, blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well.
In a sense, I suppose.
So yeah, I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth.
Just slightly useless.
Yeah, put them all back, just as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing.
Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through the shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands after being shot.
Yeah, prints on the floor, too.
Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor.
Do you have any new evidence that we can... No?
Area. Is this spot someone connected to any of the evidence I hold? Bullet went through the victim's abdomen.
No, not that spot. It should be... this spot. Right? This spot with the fact that the victim's abdomen?
There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole.
And what do you mean, sir?
You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up.
And what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir?
That would be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf after being shot. It suggests that he was standing when he was shot.
And that means... And wait, what does that mean, sir?
It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mind, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this bullet hole's position? The position of the body, the position of the handprints, the order of the files. I believe it's the order of the files that is a bit off.
You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir.
Oh.
Yeah, you see here how the files for Shy begin with the number 0? Why are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? Yeah, it's really weird.
Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye.
But the numbers are all out of order.
Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. So that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out.
You think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved?
Okay, so someone rummaged through all the files. Phoenix says, so Miles says Eureka, Phoenix says take that and hold it.
The OD file is shot.
Yeah, so the killer comes in, or the victim. Either the killer or the victim comes in and rummages through the files, then they try to put them back, but not knowing about the special ordering, puts the files that start with 0 first. Then the killer shoots the victim, leaving a bullet hole on the files that start with 0. He then proceeds to rummage through the files and the safe afterwards. And yeah, then he gets interrupted by Edgeworth, so he never gets a chance to put the files back together.
I finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceeds to shoot the victim.
And why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time?
Okay, hold on. I'm starving. I need to order some food. I don't know what's going on, but I am absolutely starving. Give me a second. Give me a second. You. Actually, since I'm gonna be doing that, let's we're gonna go ahead and take a little break here. That way, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a little break here. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, get a snack, and I'm also gonna go ahead and order some food. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, and we'll continue then. In the meantime, you should go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because it really helps the channel out, and thank you for being here. Alright, we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let's continue. The only downside of playing visual novels like this is that there's basically no time where I can actually like I can't eat while things are actually like happening, because I'm always having to like read something, which makes eating during this sort of game a bit on the difficult side, you know? But it's just how it goes. But yeah, I don't think you've never seen me eat during Virtue's Last Reward, because like Virtue's Last Reward is the type of game where if I'm feeling hungry, I'm just gonna end the stream. And I'm just gonna end the stream and then you know, go eat. I'm not actually gonna like get like a snack and then continue. I do not care enough about the game to play it. Hell, as it turns out, I don't care enough about the game to play it while I'm full, let alone when I'm hungry. So, yeah. Also, I ate a pretty light lunch today, but I just need to remember that if I'm gonna stream, I need to eat my lunch closer to when the stream starts. That way I don't get hungry until, you know, after the stream, because this is ridiculous. Like, the timing was perfect. I literally started feeling hungry as like a few minutes after I went live. What did you get to eat? I've got a Reese's peanut butter chocolate bar, and then also just a Coke. And then, but that's just a snack. I have some Popeyes incoming, but that's gonna take about half an hour to arrive. So this is just meant to keep me from, you know. This is just meant to keep me from dying until that happens. Domino's pizza. God, I hate Domino's so much. And I'll let someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time. Exactly. The only thing I could think of is that the person who searched through the files isn't eating chocolate and drinking soda a bad combination? Is it? I've never heard of that. Yeah, so because obviously the person who searched through the files the first time got what they were looking for and had enough time to put them all back. So it doesn't make sense that the killer would search through the files, then put them back, kill a dude, then search through them again. That implies then that the person who searched through the files the first time was the victim, and the second time was the killer. But we don't know which of the two actually looked at the safe. How would someone kill a man and then look through the files one more time? Puzzling indeed. Those files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? It's sugar on top of sugar? It's not that much. Plus, I'm drinking Coke Zero. So, really, I'm only getting sugar from the chocolate. Crime scene as it was at the time of the... No, the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. I'm gonna give it another look. That'd be some kind of message? This. What is that? Oh. Gumshoe? Gumshoe? How could you kill someone in my office? I don't believe it. Also, yeah, they did steal a file. God damn it.
And what is that? Why does it say gumshoe there in blood? I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence.
Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed.
And no way, it's gonna be some mistake, pal. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me say something, sir.
It appears that one of my files was stolen.
Is that all, sir? What about me in my situation?
Diabetes. Is this what the killer was really after? Oh, investigation complete. Interesting.
It looks like I was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. And I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party.
If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up.
Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say?
If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning.
You got it.
I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude.
There's a lot strange about him, starting with that hair.
Gumshoe gets accused of murder within 10 minutes. He really is Edgeworth's Maya.
The proof is that I made it the fuck up, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
Man, the amount of money that this guy must spend on like fucking hairspray every month is probably more than Edgeworth's salary, I have to say.
And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out.
Mr. Edgeworth, what were you going to do?
What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique.
Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain to me, sir?
Might as well. Alright, first I'll listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open the organizer and present the piece of contradictory evidence.
Okay, so we do have actual trial sections. They just happen on the streets.
To present something, I simply touch the present button. That's all news.
Also, yeah, not only did Gumshoe get accused of murder, he gets accused of murder in Edgeworth's office.
Yeah, but it's not like there's gonna be a flaw in that testimony every time, right?
Correct. At those times, I need to press the witness by touching the press button. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony.
Yeah, I think I get it, sir. Yeah, I'm sure to try this technique during investigations too.
Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully.
Oh? Hold on. Your order from Popeyes is being delivered at 6 p.m. Cool. See if I can track that. Alright, yep. Just waiting on that, I guess. Cannot judge someone's character based solely on their admittedly terrible haircut. Yes, I can, and I will. All right. Mr. Portman's logic.
Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. When you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding.
Okay, so 2 statements. So first statement, well, we'll go through it in a bit.
And it will be his final words that you... By his final words that you will be brought to justice.
Wow, amazing. Every word you just said was wrong.
You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer.
I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest.
Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I'll find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence.
Can you give Sportsman the most stereotypical sports jock voice?
No, I'm gonna give him the loser voice because he's a loser.
Okay, so you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Retarded. Gumshoe has his own gun. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead.
Mess up the files to make it look like he had committed theft instead.
Like, retarded, he also dusted the safe. Someone also dusted the safe. As we moved Jim's body from where he was sitting in front of the bookshelf. Thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. As final words, you'll be brought to justice. Yeah, not likely.
Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic. A gap so wide that even a good detective can spot it. Now to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence.
Hold it!
No, we always press before presenting evidence.
I know, there's something I've been meaning to ask.
What is it?
Why do you call the victim Jim? And clearly his name is Buddy Faith.
Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect nickname for my companion. Jocks and Jim. You know these 2 names go together like peanut butter and jam?
True evidence is this gun I found on my way. Also, if it was, you know, Gumshoe, I would, like, be able to recognize his voice when he was threatening me. So it's obviously not him.
Yeah, but Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name.
I've got some experience with that one.
Well, Jocks and Body just sound off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys that has had a nickname Jim.
He talks about the victim like he was his pet.
Probably put him down like it, too.
Shut up! Firewall, that is not my name!
Theft instead.
Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that?
That's true. Okay, then maybe the real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but...
Oh, no.
Yep. Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no?
Okay. I feel like the hold it's and Eureka, like the exclamations are very quiet, or is that just me? Especially compared to the music.
And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing?
Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway, thanks to that, he didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding.
That's not what the body was hiding, idiot. The body was hiding the missing file.
Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters?
The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something.
Oh, who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal.
It's a lot a person can understand from another, from a first impression alone.
I can't say I disagree with him on that part.
Come on, Edgeworth, you're supposed to be on Gumshoe's side. Does everyone know about Gumshoe's money problem? He used as an example by the police for his prerogative? Yeah, don't fuck up or you'll end up like Dick. I'd like to imagine that Richard isn't even his real name. People just call him Dick to like make fun of him. Did you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence.
I couldn't ask for a better setup. For the game-finishing stroke.
It'll be, oh fuck.
Hold it!
Are you saying that
Dick Hammond? It's honestly surprising that they haven't, that they've never made that joke. Although, to be fair, Dick is a very American nickname for Richard.
Are you saying that those letters are intended for you?
Yep. Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner.
Then looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. He has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters.
What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit my logic is perfectly sound?
Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic.
I think the contradiction is... bloody letters his body was hiding. But yeah, no, it was hiding the stolen files.
Objection!
How did Dick end up a nickname for Richard? I don't know.
Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic.
The same way Jim became a nickname for James.
Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem. I'm game.
I can't help but find it odd.
Excuse me?
Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it.
If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file?
What? It's impossible.
What's impossible, Mr. Portsman?
Nothing.
Files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines.
It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder.
I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be proof.
Yeah, I mean the S is gone and there's only half of an H.
If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood in the file.
Oh. The order is close, apparently. Hold on. Popeye's app is pretty decent, but its tracking feature, kind of terrible. So, it shouldn't be arriving yet. Look up drawing a fan did of Edgeworth looking at Gumshoe's ass sweat seductively. Why would you do that? Apparently using Dick as a short version of Richard is somewhat modern change. Something about Rick sounding like Rick, which was a slug for penis. Yeah, it's yeah, Richard becomes Dick, which then becomes Dick. Oh, Rick. Yeah, hold on, my food is here. I'll be right back. Yes, Sess, I don't know what you were expecting with that one. Just, welcome to the internet, buddy. Alright, let's continue. God, Popeyes is the fucking goat, dude.
I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood.
And which means, what exactly? How does that make this dying message?
It makes the work of a criminal intent from tampering with the crime scene.
That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. Hey, I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. Hey, I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time. And you're looking at him.
What do you usually order from Popeyes? Tenders, fries, biscuits, standard. Mr. Portsman?
Brilliant! Absolutely splendid! Logic deserving of Olympic gold!
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. That's how life goes. And everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. You know, but it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What now? And why is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Remember me for a second. Who has the key to this office? It would be me! Gumshoe! Gumshoe, you sweet summer child! Exercise your goddamn Miranda rights, for the love of God! But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence.
Then why do I sense that you still have something to say?
Can you stop playing with your fucking jacket and get to the point, fucking jackass?
Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with a key to this office?
One other person.
Hey, you there!
Yes, sir. What is it, sir?
Would you kindly fetch and escort the lovely young lady here for me?
A lady?
The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? You just say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't!
What's wrong with him all of a sudden?
I believe she needs no introduction. I've called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie! Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight.
I see. And your point is?
My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all these office doors in the building.
Motherfucker had a fucking... He had a backup, frame for his frame job? What the fuck?
What? If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
Oh, and he's gonna play on Gumshoe's feelings to get him to, like, take the fall for her, right?
How dare you! How would never sneak into someone's room.
That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me! That's right, I did it!
Can we take that as a confession, detective?
Yeah, well, it wasn't really me, but definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So, yeah, it was me. If I was, you have no problems with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, detective. There's no need for such theatrics.
Listen to your boss, detective. He understands what I'm saying here. The girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason.
Reason for suspicion.
It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as the prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable. She was the one who faked the dying message.
So you're saying she used the master key?
But that doesn't make sense because there was a key left at the scene of the crime.
Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say?
That's what you claim about the evidence earlier as well.
That was then, this is now. The flow of good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me.
I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. Seems the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him.
Oh, okay.
It's not worth going to jail for Bird, Gumshoe. Don't do it! Having Bird snuck into your room using the master key?
Hold it!
Really? Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key?
I do really like this. I do really like the fact that in this game, these sort of argument sections are naturally built into the investigations rather than being completely separated from it, like they are in the base games. That's a very nice touch.
There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir.
Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on.
I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
What do you mean unrelated? I don't want to hear what you have to say, pal.
But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time.
Did I hear what Miss Bird has?
In a bit, but that seems progress.
Maybe I should pay more attention to what Mr. Portsman is saying for now.
Let's press the rest of the testimony first.
Detective Gumshoe is the one who opened the door. I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly.
It's just a theory. One hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning.
If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first?
Now, don't make that face. See, there goes the truth running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if you can catch up to it.
I don't think you're catching my drift.
But we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand when I say that since she's the only one who could have opened your office door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as her prime suspect.
Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions?
Are you saying there's another way to open the door? Other than with the master key? No, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else.
I'll have you know I have never made a spare. So what are you insinuating?
Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest someone like you would.
Which she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard about the legend of Detective... Have I told you the legend of Detective Gumshoe the Broke? I don't think so. It's not a story the defense attorneys would tell you.
Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Yeah, really? I never knew what was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breaths, you know. When you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force. Wait, what? Why is that true, Mr. Edgeworth?
Of course not. That's hogwash.
Oh, I almost scared me like that. I almost had a heart attack there.
Oh no. Probably she was the one who faked the dying message. By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe?
I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that two knew each other well. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence.
I would love to, but first we should listen a little bit more and digest what he's saying. Press him for more information. Okay, so that's the end. So yes, we need to press here and then ask for more info from Maggie. Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Byrne has to say.
Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? You don't need to hear her lies.
I'll be the judge of that. Miss Byrne, if you please.
I discovered that the master, he was missing at around 1 a.m., sir.
What do you mean by missing?
As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it.
Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be the most important piece of testimony, don't you?
I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. But I'm not lying, sir. If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. Just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Likely story. And where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, Bale, trust me. You don't want to test just how bad her luck is.
That is true.
Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive.
Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh,
But, hey, you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves, at least tried the safe.
It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own.
okay. So we brought out a new piece of testimony. Cool.
Her intent. From the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery.
I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery, however.
Glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me.
However, with regards to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe,
Hey, good thinking. As for my opinion on the matter,
would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence?
No. Okay. So we do have to just present some evidence here. Okay. Right. Maggie wouldn't have known about the safe. Only a prosecutor like you would have known about that. Objection! The badge!
Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something?
why not? It's the truth after all. It's also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyways.
That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors.
Ah!
I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan.
But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down.
I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and safe are targeted.
Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. That means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either.
This game probably is my favorite pursuit theme. I think so far my favorite one is this it? Because if so, this is a good one. But I think I still prefer the Apollo Justice one.
Then, are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor?
Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more
Probable. No, it's not this one. Okay.
What's wrong, prosecutor? We have a different suspect in mind now.
Cursus! Why? What made you? And what's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault.
What do you mean?
It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes.
What did you just say?
We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safe. And that means, yeah, I know. I'd only just told him too. Obviously it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it. The broke into your room was probably Jim.
No, he's claiming that the victim was the thief.
Though that tracks, because we know for a fact that two separate people upturned the files on the safe. But doesn't this also then... But then that means that you can't say that Maggie is the culprit, because if Jim stole the key and came in and started stealing and left the door open, anyone could have then walked in and killed him, you know? Plus, this doesn't also... We still haven't explained the fact that there's a second bullet hole.
And you're simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? It's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. And what the? You still accusing Maggie of murder? Unbelievable, pal.
Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. Get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it?
No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir.
Should make things a bit easier. Put everything in the same box as it should be. Okay, this should be better.
Hey, Bim! Hey, Bim! Guess what?
If I ever visit Japan, I need to get one of those robots. I need to. Be so funny.
Plus, even if he was the thief, he won't have a key to this office.
Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out?
Oh, you can't kick us out. It's Mr. Edgeworth's office.
They killed James May. They killed Bim. Also, one of my favorite things is the fact that if you go to the Wikipedia page for Bim, it lists James May as one of the things.
But I'm the one who's been assigned this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees, and therefore ineligible to run this show.
Hey, listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit.
Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself.
Pointing.
But, sir...
We have no choice but to accommodate his request, for now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again. That's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, and I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me here.
To be continued. I know, it's so good. It's almost as good as Nigel Mansell being listed as a presenter on the end credits of on the end credits of Eurocrash.
418, prosecutors off, building, 10th floor hallway.
Okay, I think I might actually leave this off here because I know it's a much shorter stream than I would have liked, but I think that's just how it's gonna have to be for today because I'm very tired. So we're gonna leave this off here. We'll be back soon though. So during this weekend, I think we're gonna do a bit of a one-off stream. I'm gonna be playing Getting Over It. You know, the game with the hammer where you try to climb and shit. All that. That is probably gonna be one of the most fun streams I'll ever do because I'm gonna be so fucking mad at it. I won't enjoy it, but everyone watching will. And then, yeah, after that, we'll probably do another episode of Investigations on Tuesday, and then from there on, we'll start swapping back and forth between Investigations and Persona 5. But yeah, it was nice having you here, Sess. Hopefully I'll see you again in the future. And, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Firewall. Don't forget to, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel a lot. Is O Cook still airing? I don't know what O Cook is. But yeah, all right. That being said, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching. I'll be back on either Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, it was great having you, Sess.